Taurus! Yay! Good morning. How are you, Taurus? Just 3 things if you can do. Make sure that you smash that like button for me. It just really helps out with the algorithm. If you are watching the video, try to remain on it as much as you can without clicking off. If you click off the video, it pretty much tells YouTube that you're not interested in the content and that nobody's interested in the content. So as long as you can watch it, it just keeps the algorithm on a steady flow, okay? If you drop off, it just, the algorithm goes like that and says people are dropping off, they're not bothered, okay? And then a comment. If you can leave a comment, smash the like, that will really help out. Okay, Taurus, so let's see what you've got coming up for, let's put this light on, if that matter, what you've got coming up for this week. What has Taurus got coming up this week, please? For Taurus, what have they got coming up this week, Taurus? Let's see. So you've got picking up extra hours at work. If you work for someone, or I'm going to turn that off actually. But if you work for somebody, this is pretty much picking up a few extra hours at work. This could be you or could be your person. Like if you're looking for extra cash or extra work, extra money, then you need to pick up extra hours at work. Okay. So if you work for somebody and there's a rota, this is pretty much asking, are there any extra shifts that I can take at work? Okay, don't forget, if this doesn't relate to you as a Taurus, you can watch it as a Taurus, a Sagittarius, or a Life Path 5, because they are major arcana 5s, and that's how I read. And it really does work if you knew about numerology and reading cards. Okay, so someone here is picking up extra hours at work to try and be able to financially, to support themselves here. So it'd be an individual that's doing so. Taurus, what have they got coming up, please, this week, Taurus? So you got yourselves here, very could be yourself, Sagittarius, or Taurus, or someone that's really opinionated, someone that's arguing about money and about work, maybe about bills, something not working, it's not what I want, okay, I need extra hours, or you can work or you can't work, okay, but it's also having an opinion. Okay, this is offering my opinion that is either valid or not wanted, but it causes argument. So I'm going to stick my 2 pence worth in, is pretty much what we say in Britain. I'm just going to stick my 2 pence worth in and just say something that's not wanted. So it could be someone that can be very opinionated. Okay, it doesn't have to be you, okay? But it's someone... If it's not someone around you that's like very opinionated, it's also, you've got this energy of where work is very stressful at the moment, okay, because people are not wanting to listen or wanting to know, definitely don't want to listen to the truth, definitely not bothered about, why is this coming across as an insult? I'm picking up like I'm insulted or I'm insulting, or I've been insulted. Somebody could, like where you're living or where you're working, insulted someone. Okay, I'm also hearing salt. Like salt and battery, or salt, or upon a salt charge. Okay, because we're like charge, Taurus, like assault charge. Or I'm being charged too much money or something like that. Like you're like this could be like bills, money, house and stuff like that. And like I'm being insulted by because you're charging too much. Okay, charging too much money. I'm being insulted because you're charging too much money. Don't know what that's for. So that must be around the house, right? Wherever it is that you're living. The expenses of living is pretty much like if you're in the UK, it's all doubled in price now. Electric is doubled in price. I think in April, the water rates are being doubled in price. Rent, well not rent, but mortgages, they're all they're not doubled, but they're going up. Like all the rates are going up, like every bill is going up. There are strikes all over Britain. We have now got a postal strike, with the trains are now on strike also. So the economy is going to shit. And what I'm picking up there's a lot of arguments over rotas and work and extra hours, extra shifts at work, too much work, not enough work. I'm working too hard, not getting enough money, blah, 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 so on and so forth, right? So it's causing some conflict here. Let's see, Taurus. What has Taurus got coming up, please, Taurus? So you got Life Path 7 or a Cancerian. Some of you could be arguing with me. I don't know. But I don't know. This is about like, in order to get there, I've got to go through this first. In order to get what I want, I've got to argue to get what I want. So it might be a child or someone that's very childish around you, or a fish or a Piscean. But in order to get what I want, I've got to go through you to get what I want, which means that when I want something, if I'm talking to you, I'm going to argue with you until I get what I want. Okay, so it can be my own way. If I like, it's either my way or the highway. Okay. This is Chris Cornell, Christine, Chrissy. But in order to get what I want, I'm going to argue to get what I want. Okay, so that's normally my own way. Okay, if I want my own way, it's my way or the whole way. If nobody listens, then don't. But I'm still doing it my way, and nobody wants to listen. Okay, because it's a 5 energy. So for a lot of it here, there's an energy of like, you're either going to listen, but Cancerian energy here is pretty much saying, I'm getting annoyed because you're not listening to me, because you're not paying any attention to me, because you're not speaking to me, or don't speak to me like that. Who do you think you are speaking to me like that? Okay. Because it, like I said, I got this. This is where every Taurus is going to fucking hate me, I'm sure. Here, or Gary, or Tina, or someone from Ireland. But like, someone believes that fighting to get the attention of a person to make them stay is the way to go about it, is to fight with them. To get their attention, I have to argue with you to get your attention. Now, this is either a lover, a mother, a brother, or a sister. But in order to get you to do what I want you to do, my condition is argue with you. Okay. So if the Chariot isn't paying any attention and they're doing their own thing, or Steve, and they're going their own way, it's because I'm not paying attention to what you're saying here. Okay. Let's see, Taurus. What's coming up for Taurus, please, this week here? Taurus. So you've got Gemini, Capricorn, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but they can also be paradox numbers. Sag, Taurus, Leo, Aquarian, 8s, Aries, Scorpio. Okay. This could be coming from a mother. This is always normally a mother provider. Some of you, this could just be a very general, Jen, Julian, Justin, Jackie, Jasmine, Jack, excuse me, a very minor kind of very, like, just a, okay, just slight raised voice, or Raven, or John. Okay, but like a slight raised voice. Okay, but everything is normally okay here. So I'm hearing Norman, Normington, Nigel, Noel, Niall, Nicole, the River Neen, Neve, Steve, Naive. Let's see, that would be the arguments of me not being invited to a birthday party. It could be an Aquarian here. Let's see. Let's see. Taurus, what's coming up for Taurus, please? So you've got children, people, party. I'm hearing a party, birthday. This 5 of Wands is a very minor kind of situation. I think there's an energy here of like, I have to argue with you in order to get you to pay any attention to me. In order to get you to do that, I have to raise my voice. Could be someone that's very hard of hearing, like they're deaf, or Steph, or Steve, or Sarah, but they're like deaf, okay? And you have to shout in order to be able to get their attention here, okay? But yeah, I'm definitely picking up someone's like hard of hearing. And this is just like, I have to raise my voice in order to get someone to hear me, okay? But love life should definitely be here for someone. I'm hearing deaf. What? Or Steph. But like someone that's deaf. But yeah, there's definitely a relationship here, that's for sure. Let's see. Taurus, what's coming up for Taurus this week, please? For Taurus this week. So you got the King of Cups. Wow, Taurus. So you got 2 men, if any of you are single, or if it's the same man. I don't know, but you've got, or Sam, hearing Sam, same man, sailor man, sailor, Sal, Sarah, Steve, Sassy, Sandra, Cassano, Sino, Cece. Like I said, there is 100% like a couple here. If there isn't, there's interest. There's interest. Okay. Okay, I'm hearing there's more to come. Is that money, or is there's more to come yet? it's kind of like someone's got something, but there's more to come yet. Like, I haven't given you it all yet. Is it money or debt or something like that, or Debbie? But like, I've given you some, but there's more yet. Like, there's more to come yet. Have any of you like won any money, or like you're waiting on something to happen, and it relates to like, okay, I've got some, but I haven't got it all yet, but I'm waiting for the next lump sum of money. So it might be like an inheritance I'm picking up, or like a bank loan, or a loan of money, or something like that. And I've given you some, but I haven't given you everything yet. So I'm about to give you something. Advice, or because there's definitely a couple here. Let's see, Taurus. Now, if you're not, it could be relating more. Not if I say not, you say Pisces swinging on a tree. 1, 2, 3. If it's not relating to you, like I said, it really could be relating more to your life path number. Okay, like it being 5. Okay, or Sagittarius. But let's see. Taurus, what's Taurus got coming up? 4 of Wands. This is a married couple. Definitely a couple, 100%. There's a married couple here, and there is also an actual boyfriend, girlfriend, so on and so forth couple. Okay. This 5 of Wands, I believe, is more of a hiccup, like a minor type sort of like discussion. But I think it's easily overcome. That you've got Scott, I'm also hearing Scott or Sarah. But I do have to stick with that message that I'm getting here, Taurus, that someone's either like hard of hearing, or someone is like very aggressive in their manner, which can come across as very intimidating, like I don't know, just like, because 5 can also be like intimidating people to like conversation, like dominating the conversation. Like, I like to dominate the conversation, or Dan or Danielle or Danny, not saying it's you guys, but like anybody's beginning with D or B, Brian. But I'm hearing, or a lion, Leo also. But I'm hearing I like to dominate the conversation, and I don't always hear you through until you finish speaking. It's a little bit like interrupting someone's conversation. And it's like, I don't like being interrupted. When I'm speaking, don't interrupt me when I'm actually mid-flow of a conversation. But if you've got someone that talks a lot, then I feel like this frustration of like, do you have to keep interrupting me when I'm trying to speak? Okay. Why can't you listen more than, you know? Yeah. Let's see. I'm definitely keeping up like dominating a conversation. Taurus, what's Taurus got coming up, please? So you got possible where you have children here, but this can also end up being like, I'm not going to speak to you then. Like Jen, Julian, Justin, Jackie, Jasmine, Jack. And then you get another page here. So some of you have got children, or your Paige Gray. Hello. I think I said I liked your YouTube name, Paige Gray. David Gray, also, dead in the water now. Because there's 2 people that are looking at each other here, thinking about each other, but not talking. Like, I mean, if you're getting loads of messages, you're talking. But normally these, if you look at the cards, this one's more like, I got better things to do than talk to you. And this is like, don't talk to me like that. Okay, I won't talk at all. And it's kind of like, well, I don't like the tone of your voice. It's kind of like, well, I don't like the tone of yours either. So it's just not speak. Let's just not talk. If we don't get on and your opinion is yours, you're entitled to your opinion. But I'd rather you keep it to yourself. So there's an energy where 2 people end up stop talking here. Could be at home if you've got children or a person here. But this is more than like a stable energy that you've got of the King of the Wands. King of Wands here, and everything's going fine here. And then all of a sudden, something happens where someone gets like insulted. Okay. And like, because this is like, if you're not going to listen to my opinion, then don't. And they're like, okay, then I won't. And you stop speaking. Okay. Because everyone used to say that this card is spying, but so is this, because they're the same. They're not actually talking, they're just watching, thinking about each other. But it can also be, I'm insulted by what you said, and I'm watching you, but I don't like what you do. Oh God, sorry, it reminds me of this Taurus that's on here. Keeps telling me how much she doesn't like what I'm doing. Sorry, but you've been blocked. That might royally piss you off here. I just realised I was doing Taurus. Sorry, I had a Taurus person complaining that I don't do those free readings for everybody that everybody's liking. Don't do those. I don't like them. Sorry, don't watch. But like that, like I'm picking up that person maybe very opinionated. I don't. Okay, then don't then. Okay, it's like that. Like I have an opinion, and if it isn't heard, I won't speak. Like Amber. Okay, so like I want what I want, and if I don't get it, like I said, it's grown-ass adults or children. If I don't get what I want, and you don't listen, and you don't speak, and I don't speak, then no one's getting really anything. No one's getting anywhere. But it all stems from this Five of Wands. It stems from, because I say this to everybody, is there anybody out there that loves to hear other people's opinion when they moan at them? Who loves to be moaned at or complained at and told in a comment section or anywhere? Who likes to read it or hear it or listen to it? Anybody? Because if you do, you must be fucking crazy. Okay. So, like, if someone's kind of like, well, you should do this, you should do that, you shouldn't do this, I don't think you should, I think so and so and so and so. Nobody really wants to listen to someone else's opinion. Okay, so that's why you get these energies here. You know, I'm trying to put my 2 pence worth in and tell you something, but you're not listening to what I'm saying. That could well be because the other person doesn't want to listen. Okay, here. But I'm sure the messenger is going to be shot here. But I can't lie to you what's in the cards. So, you know, because this could be where someone sees that their children are disrespectful, but the children also see that the mother is also argumentative. Okay, here. So it's kind of like getting on, not getting on, getting on, not getting on. Okay, now it could be where I'm more concerned about what goes on in your relationships than my own. Okay, because this can be like, if I've got kids, I'm that concerned about their partners and what goes on with them than what I actually do them, Emily, Melissa, Maria, Michael, Jackson, Julian, Jason, Justin, Jackie, Jasmine, but I'm more concerned of what goes on in other people's relationships than my own. And when someone throws that back in my face and says, oh, have you tried looking at your own relationship? And they go, how dare you? How dare you talk to me like that? You see, then you get these. Okay. So if you are, regardless, if you are parents, okay, I'm going to say it, if you are parents and your children are not listening to you, then just maybe try and think why that might be here. If they're not responding to what you're kind of saying, maybe think of that. Okay. I can feel it. That person's going to say, it's because your YouTube channel and it's because you talk about yourself. I can see it coming up. I really can. Cam, the name Cameron, Chamomile, Mel, Melissa. Let's see. Taurus. So you've got the Queen of Pentacles now, Taurus. So you've got the King of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. So you've got... It's kind of like two people wanting to actually speak to each other, but they may or may not be. It's kind of like families that are all like diving into each other's like relationships, like your mum, my mum, their father, my father. Like my children are in like relationships, and like we're going to have a good old talk about them. Like, let's put the worlds to right and talk about our kids' relationships, and let's talk about how's this person and how's that person, or how's he. There's kind of that there. I can't really tell you too much about a devastating relationship because I don't think there is a devastating relationship here. I think whichever relationship you're on, it functions. But the little bit of disturbing energy is this here, these three here. Some of you could have 3 children or 3 options. Could be coming up. But like, because this is a lot of fast action, a lot of talking, and then all of a sudden this is like someone says something here. This is normally like where I don't have a filter and I've said something that insulted you, and I don't think before I speak. And I didn't think, I just said something off the top of the head, didn't think, said it, and then it's like, I can't believe that you said that in front of that person. Like, why did you go and say that? And it's just like, oh, I always put my foot in my mouth. Like, I always say something really fast and really quick without thinking. And then when I actually sit back and think about it, think, actually, yeah, I did say that, blah, blah, blah. I've really got to be careful of what I say. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Here. Because this is definitely, if you look at it, this is thinking and speaking really quickly. And then this is pausing and thinking, should I really say that or should I not say it? This is normally thinking about temper. If someone has a temper, okay, these are actually quite good when it comes to a temper, because this is where I'm trying my hardest to not get annoyed, to not get tempered. Like, I'm going to think before I speak. Like, before I act, I'm actually going to think about the consequences that it might cause. Okay, so it's kind of like if I'm really learning anything, and I go through life thinking, okay, the way that I've normally got my own way is by doing this, and it's proven that that doesn't work. The only thing that I can do is the opposite to what I normally do. And if that be things like I'm always saying yes, start to say no. If that's I'm always getting very annoyed and very tempered, try to stop getting so annoyed and tempered and think about it before the outcome. If that is something that isn't working, think of a different approach. If that's someone that's already married or in a commitment and you like someone, think about another person instead of the one that you can't have here. Okay. Now I'm also hearing something to do with around, like, I'm thinking more of one of you than the other. I think about one of you more than I do the rest. What is that? Someone got multiple choice or loads of children and they think more of one child than they do the other two. This is kind of like, you know, because this can come up in strict controlled environments, like playing people off against people. And it can be like, I hold you in more high regard and I think more of you than what I do these two. I don't actually like these two and I don't speak to these two, but I do this one. This is the golden child. These two are the disappointment. Sorry if it's coming up, but it's something like that where I'm always the shit sponge. Like, I'm always the one that gets told off. I'm always the one that does wrong. Like, you're the bad one, you're the bad kid, you're the bad person, you're bad, you're bad, you're bad, but you are good. And, you know, if any of you ever been brought up in narcissism and control when you were younger, okay, and you were kids, and you were like maybe a couple of three of you as children, and you're like brothers, sisters, and blah, 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 okay, and one of you is like the golden balls child and is the one that can never do any wrong, but these two are always put in time out of where you're the disadvantaged children. You're the ones that kind of have got like a shit job and you've got no hope and you've got no chance and blah, blah, blah. You do, but you don't. Like, kind of picking up some very strange messages here, Taurus. Now, these could also be stepchildren and also children is also what I'm picking up here. Of like, I've got my own child, but I've also got two step kids as well, like stepchildren here. Excuse me, because I'm hearing steptoe and son. Like, my son is a stepson, like stepson, steptoe, Tony. Anybody getting with T? Tony or toenail or something. I'm also hearing Jimmy Nail. So Jim, John, Julian, Jason, Justin, Jackie, Jasmine, Jack. Nail. I very much doubt anybody in life is called Nail. If your name out there and you're called Nail, please leave a comment. My name is Nail. Really? Niall? Nigel? Nail? Nail. Like a thumbnail or a middle nail, whichever way. But I'm going to show you the nail. Let's see. Unless someone's doing nails here. Freddy Krueger, Freddy, or beginning with F or Steph. But someone that paints their nails. Okay. They do like, you know, like works in a shop here. And you come in, come in, madam. Yes, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I'm just going to paint your nails. Okay. Painting nails. Or someone has like these really long nails. Like Freddy Krueger, like plastic nails that are like, okay, I want them like this big. Why do people do that? Surely that isn't comfortable, right? Why women do that? Why do women? I mean, I know like they have like these, you know, nails done and they look lovely. I love a nice hand, trust me. But like, why? Please leave it in the comment. There you go. There's your chance to leave a comment. Why do people have like these 10-inch long nails where they're like real curved out here and they're like, you know, and you see them doing tarot and they're like, "You all right?" And you're like, "Fucking hell, what, you're going to read my tarot?" And you're like, "Yeah, hold on a minute." And they're like, like, surely, bruv, like these are hands, like they're made to like use, like, why? Like, well, I mean, it's a prosthetic thing, but surely that must be so uncomfortable to have like 10-inch nails, right? Unless you're listening, unless you're play a guitar and all that, you listen to like 10-inch nails or whatever, but like, okay, now, I mean, what, you Victor Meldrew? 1 foot in the grave. Let's see. Taurus. What's Taurus got coming up? So we're going to wrap it up in a minute. Ooh, you've got like a serious love connection going on here. So like I said, a lot of you are in a relationship, but because these cards, you'll see them when we go over, because I've figured out how to pull this camera down, okay? I'll do it before we end. You've got 3 energies that are here, right? 3 energies. 1, 2, 3. They can relate to one person, but they can be like 3 children, 3 clients, 3 offers. Swipe left, swipe right. Then you've also got 1, 2. Well, one's a woman, but it still could be a man. You got 3 like kings and queen energy here. And then you've got the lovers. So, I must be a lover. So I can't tell you if these are options that you're kind of like floating through, because there's definitely a relationship here. And some of you could be a home wrecker or a Rebecca. I don't know. But like, let's muscle in on other people's relationships and let's get in with someone that's already taken. Could be. Or they are. Like, you know, talking to someone else's husband or wife or girlfriend or boyfriend. Like, you know, it's possible, because this is like, well, I'm thinking about someone, but the person I'm thinking about is already in a marriage and a commitment. They're already in that. But that's the one I want, and that's the one I'm thinking about. So should I really say something to this person or not? If they are in a relationship, should I really be talking to that person that's already committed into a relationship? Should I be doing that? Now, it doesn't, like, you know, you're only going to know that if that's you that's watching and you're kind of like, yeah, Steve, the person I'm thinking of is already in, like, is married and in a commitment already. Then, you know, never really do that, right? Because there are possibilities of what these cards can end up being when you clarify them. Because this can be love and lust. Like, is it love? What is love? Okay, well, it's a feeling that's created by the darkness. So does that mean that it's lust? Okay. But if there is a commitment of a couple, well, the one thing that's for sure here is that they are in love with one another and they are in a very good standing of relationship. That's what keeps them together, is that they're in love with one another here. So I'm sorry to say, any cross-watcher or watcher that's getting annoyed because someone's life is going good, well, then blame some fucker else here, because they're, you know, they're getting on well in their relationship for some, and then for some, these are other options that people have here. Because this is like browsing, like I'm browsing at one, and the one I really want, I'm trying to stop thinking about because I know that they're married, and I know that they're committed into this Four of Wands, and I know that they are, and I know that I shouldn't really be thinking of them, but I am. And because I'm thinking of them, Pam, then, like, should I really be doing that? Because the person that you're thinking of, if you are, is in this reading as well, which means they have like a Taurus, Sagittarian, or Life Path 5 placement, the man or woman. One of them definitely does. That's why these kings and queens are coming up, because the person that may be interested in one of the three, if there is one, has the same sort of numerology placement or star sign, like putting them in the same reading. That's going to give you a lot of kings and queens, meaning it could be an ex-husband and a wife as well that has like a Sag, Taurus, Life Path 5 type sort of vibe, and that person's in this reading with their wife, husband, person that they moved on with, and that'll bring up a lot of counterparts. You'll start getting, like I said, normally when I start seeing these are my paradox multifaceted numbers. Okay, so all star signs are present, but that can mean like ex-husband, ex-wife, had children, blah, blah, blah. They moved on with someone, and same-sex relationship also being here as well. And like, you know, this is the ex-counterpart, the King of Wands, the Queen. We're no longer together, but we're still sort of, you know, we're not mismatched. We just do things for the kids. But really, you know, let's do it for the boys. Kevin Bacon. You could be eating swine. Someone could also be in the police force as well. I've heard that in a few of my readings. The one before this one, I forget who it was that I was doing. Aries, Scorpio, Aries, Life Path 4. I'm hearing police force. This is someone that could work at the prison. This is a guard, the Queen's Guard, Queen's Gambit, chess, Monopoly. London, somewhere from London, that would be Monopoly. That'll be Trafalgar Square. Okay, and places like that, Trafalgar. So you could be going to London. Okay, if you're going to London, let me know. Okay, but I'm hearing like the King's Guard. So I'm hearing this is someone that may work in like a, for children, like for kids. That I actually got asked once by someone in the police force when I worked for children. She was someone that worked for kids. Well, she was a prison. She was high up. She was high ranking. And she said to me, "Oh my God, I would love for you to come into my prison and talk to the the children that are really needing some kind of like advice or guidance, that try to stop them from going in here, to talk to them about, you know, all the jargon that I normally come out with about life and all of that sort of stuff, and make it interesting." I was offered once, and I said, "Look, you know, here's my number. If you ever want me to come in and if you want to give me a job, then let me know." And I never did actually hear from her again after that, because I'd stopped working for the company I was working with, and I never got to see her, and I think we lost contact. But there is something here about maybe working for the prison, or working for like children that are kind of like, you know, going in and out of prison and blah blah blah, and talking to them and giving them a, you know, you know, not quite like that, but like, you know, you need to start listening. If you want to think about your life, then you're really going to have to start listening instead of speaking and talking. Then you're really going to have to start learning and actually listening to something here. Okay, so there are quite a few different messages there that I'm picking up for your reading. So look, very quickly, if you want to know what your cards look like, okay, that's pretty much what there are. Now, when I go over to the other side, I have this pencil, yay, and it props underneath there and it keeps up the camera. So I'm going to point it down so you can actually see. If any of you want to buy me a nice laptop, that might really help, because this is doing my head in. This is like a an iPad, but laptops, they have that way that you can just move them down and you can edit on it. Michael, Connett, Michael, Melissa, Maria, Michael, Jackson, Julian, Justin, Jackie, Jasmine, Jack. If you want to go towards that, what will help me if you join Patreon. If you can join Patreon, that really does support me buying these things I need to get myself out of this shithole. Well, like, it really does help out. So if you want to join Patreon, over on the other side, what I'm going to do is do you a load of more cards, clarify everything, try and figure out what all of this is, because you've got new and old and sort of different messages coming up here. That will be over on Patreon. It will either be the silver and gold tier. It goes to both. Yeah, please make sure that you give it a like. Hit that, smash that like button, Taurus. The more likes that I get, the more motivation it gives me to actually give you another reading. Okay, so if you're liking and it's going up there in the views and the counts, it's motivating me more to do your readings for you. Okay, but yeah, if you want to help me out more, links are provided below. Thanks very much, Taurus, and I'll see you soon.